All right. Good evening, everyone. Okay, my name is Nahid. I'm from Brisbane. Actually, I was from here. And I went to Brisbane, and I'm still working there. I just came in for a holiday, and it turned out to, and I've been ordered to take a class. So I'll try to use my expertise. I'll share with you. I'll try my level best to help you out. So first thing first, let me just quickly get to know you first. How many of you have given PT exam? Raise your hands. Almost everyone, is that? We're all failures? Yes. Yes?
Proud failures.
Proudly failed. It's okay, everyone fails. And every one of you are going to pass, and every one of you get PR. Just that depends on the time frame. Someone in 1 month, 2 months, but everyone passes. Okay. How many of you booked an exam next week? Just raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Are you all enrolled student or some just new student today? All okay. Enrolled new students. Okay, that's fine. Today's workshop, as you can see, is on SST and write form dictation. Which one do you find harder? SST or dictation? Dictation? I personally dictation. Yeah? Sometimes, I'm not sure where you give the test. First thing problem is that I'm running out of time. Yeah, I missed the last question. That's the first one. Okay. How about SST? Is it hard, easy? Hard? Okay. I'll try to make your life as much easy as possible. Okay, as much easy as possible when it comes to SST. At least if you know the basic, okay, that will do. Okay, that will do. Now, just a few backgrounds, because you already have given the test before, all right? I'm sure that all of you, before you went to give your test, if you go to some other PT study centers or you bought questions from different websites, you've already seen they've got some predefined answers. Yeah? They got the answers already there, you kind of memorized it and you went there and you put it in. But the question is now that they've changed a lot of questions, haven't they? And you're like, oh my God, all questions are changed, what I'm going to do. Nothing's going to happen, okay? It's just that PT routinely changes questions. If you want to know the next question, they're going to change in July, and then in October, then in January. That's what happened. They always do this. Okay, but the question is, the last few, probably a couple of years, when they change the question, I want to say they rotate the questions. The number of questions are very small in length, like small numbers. Maybe they put 5 new SST, or maybe 5 new essays. That's how they change it. But these days, they've changed a bit too many. Okay? How many questions? Some of you probably like, okay, I just need to go and memorize questions. I'm going to ask my friend, do you have any new questions, and so on. It's never going to end. Okay? At least for those who have exam, 5 of you raised your hands, exam next week. And for those who have exam probably after 2 weeks, your time is very less in hand. Okay? So whatever questions you have from your own sources, that's fine. On top of that, I need to give you some basic idea so that you feel confident. Okay, I've answered this, I think I'm correct. And you will usually find this when you get your scorecard. You will see your bottom part, where the grammar, spelling, what the spelling part, grammar, you'll see between the scores. They should be pretty high, 80 plus. Okay, then you can feel that your writing went pretty well. Okay, that's the main idea. So let's start with summarized spoken text. So I've given you the handouts already. Have you got the handouts? Yes, good. So this is what I'm going to go through. Okay, I'm going to go in details. If I just give that to you and you just leave this room, it's not going to help. Okay, I'm just going to really try to explain you line by line. I can't go through everything today, but I'll just give you as much detail as possible. I'm looking for those students who has exam in the next 2 weeks. Okay? They can get something out of this topic, today's class. It's just work because it's pretty cold out there. You probably, left your work and you came here. So I just want to get the best out of it. Okay? So let's start. So first of all, what we're going to do these are the things I'm going to cover. You can see general questions. Some of the questions that arises, okay, when we're doing SST. So I'll just try to go through all the questions that you might ask to me. So I've got those questions there already, and I'll try to answer them. If you've got any questions outside than this, there's 4 of us here, we'll answer as well. Okay? Practicing IWA. So IWA stands for Artificial Intelligent Writing Analyzer, which you just did. Okay? So what are we going to do today? And then we're going to need to apply this knowledge in the software. Okay? We're all going to use our phones, and we're going to write our answers down, and we want to see what kind of scores we get. That's the main idea. Clear? Okay. And then we're going to do a bit of note-taking practice as well. Okay? Note-taking practice is also something very important. Note-taking practice. Okay? So these are 3 things that involves your SST. You've all given summarized spoken text, right? So when does this question come in the PT exam? In the listening first part, the first question. Okay. And you do get 10 minutes break before that. Do you take that 10 minutes break? Yes, no? Any suggestions? Should I take the break? Okay, I do. Okay. I tell some of my students to do it, so do it. If you've got 10 minutes break, go to the bathroom, relax yourself, and come back. You're going to get the first question, SST. How many of you got, last test, 2 SST questions? 3? None of the rest of you can't remember? 2s or 3s? 2 or 3? Okay, it depends. Some of you get 2, some of you 2. But I'll tell you from my experience, 3 is better. Okay? It's much easier. This section is much, much easier. Okay? So everyone, it's easy. Alright, so first thing first, when we do SST questions, we ask ourselves, what are the key contents? Okay, I'm sure that when you're doing SST, everyone say, write your keywords down. Write your key. What are the keywords? That's the first question I'm going to do. Aren't you? There's so many recording, okay? 200 words recording. And they said that write the keywords down. The first question is, what are the keywords? Sometimes, it's the nouns. No, it's the verbs. It's everything. What is it? So I will just go through more specific on keywords, and we'll practice them as well in the class right now. Okay? Keywords. So keywords really, in any lecture recording, it's the stress words. The words that are stressed. Can you tell me, in your point of view, what does stress word means? Stress words. How do you pressure a word? Tell me.
That has further definition or example.
Further definition, words. Okay, that's fine. Anything else? Anyone else? Stress words?
Adding meaning to it.
Adding meaning to it. Okay, anything else? You always hear that they put stress onto it. Stress. What is stress word? Or emphasize, yes. How do you emphasize a word? Have you seen it? If you hear the news, you see they stress a lot. Today, the headlines. That person who just said today, they said today. Yeah? That's called stress. They're putting a bit of loudness in there. The last few syllables of the words, they're pulling it. Today. Fast, slow motion. They fast like today. Today. So those are stress. They're a bit louder. Or you're pulling the words. Those are called stress words. We're going to practice this. We're going to listen for the stress words. A word that is a bit louder than usual. Pulling the word together. Okay. Repeated words. This is easy. What is repeated words? You had one word, a particular word, more than once. Or maybe twice. Those words we need to keep in mind. So what we learned so far, key contents are stress words and repeated words. This is something we're going to practice right now. And sentence that appears with the discourse markers. You've all got your PTE scorecard. Have you seen written discourse score? Yeah. Okay. Do you know where that score coming from? Good. Connectors, that's right. That is the written score. But particularly which question is coming from? Essay. It comes from your essay. So that particular score is coming from your essay part. But recently means, written discourse means connecting words. That's right. So you can see here, I've got some words down, written down. For example, anyway, for a start, although, moreover, now, become, as a result, and so on. You know these words, right? Connecting words. So if you see sentence that appears with discourse markers, whatever they say after that, and they're saying something else, those words are part of your key contents. So I'm repeating again 3 things we're going to look into today: stress words, repeated words, and after written discourse or you had any conjunctions, after that, what are the words they're saying? Those are our main key content. Is that clear, everyone? Yeah? Okay. Should we play a recording then? Yeah, so I think I've given everyone a handout. Okay, what I would like you to do, okay, I would like you to turn the page, look at this, turn the page, probably at the back, and I'm going to play a recording, and I want you to write down as many stress words as possible. Okay, so what am I looking for when I play the recording? I'm going to listen, I'm saying it again, I'm going to listen for the words that has been said a little bit louder, or you feel that it's stressed. That means it pulled the words. Hey, hi. I just could have said hi. Hi, I'm pulling the word. So those words I'm interested in. Not everyone's going to write the same words, but we should have some common words from all our side. Is that clear? Yeah. Okay, so let me play a recording, everyone. Are you ready?
Yes.
In 3, 2, 1.
The early years of ATM machines, there were many complaints with the ATMs. The ATM machine is programmed to allow a customer to collect their money first and then take their card. However, this made many people forget their cards, and it was a worrying issue because anyone could have the access to one's bank account. Now, in the UK, the ATM machines have been reprogrammed so that customers will take their card first and then collect their money. As a result, it would be less likely for them to forget the money, since that was the main reason for them to use an ATM. Although people sometimes still forget to take their money, it is more catastrophic to lose your card because it can access to your bank account.
So his voice went up and down to some extent, to some words. The words that went up, okay, we are interested in those words. Okay, so has everyone written down? Yes, more. Okay. I have written down some words as well. So this is from another student. Not by me, someone else. I'm just going to see whether your words match with that or not. Okay, you just need to say yes. All right. So this student, okay, she has all the keywords necessary. So I just want to see whether you have it or not. Okay. First one. Early years. How many of you raised early years? Raise your hand. Well done. So we're on the same page. Okay, thank you. Second, complaints. All right, well done. ATM, almost everyone.
Excellent.
Good, that means we know what the stress words are. ATM, okay, easy one as well. Card,
Yes.
card, okay. First, okay, fair enough. Worrying issue. Okay, worrying issue. Reprogrammed. Many of you. All right. Account. Almost every one of you. More catastrophic. Said at the end, right? More catastrophic. Okay. Less likely. Okay, that's good. And I think the last one is still forget. Okay, still forget. So you can see that every one of you, almost every one of you have picked up stress words. So you know what a stress word is. So when doing the recording, when you're looking for key content, just pick up the stress words, just like this. That's all you have to do. I said these are the ones that, these are the part of the keywords. So if these words are there, there's no chance of making mistake in the content. There's no chance. Is that clear, everyone? That's the easy part. Okay. Now I'm going to play this recording again. Okay. This time I'm going to focus on repeating words.
No, sorry, just a minute. Anybody who hasn't got a pen or pen?
Okay.
So make
You
sure
can?
you're
Okay.
using your notes.
Okay, repeated words, is that clear? So what I'm going to do, so any word, I heard it at least twice or more. Okay, in 3. In 3, 2, 1.
The early years of ATM machines, there were many complaints with the ATMs. The ATM machine is programmed to allow a customer to collect their money first and then take their card. However, this made many people forget their cards, and it was a worrying issue because anyone could have the access to one's bank account. Now, in the UK, the ATM machines have been reprogrammed so that customers will take their card first and then collect their money. As a result, it would be less likely for them to forget the money, since that was the main reason for them to use an ATM. Although people sometimes still forget to take their money, it is more catastrophic to lose your card because it can access to your bank account.
Okay, let's see how did you go in this. I have to play from the beginning. Okay. First one. Okay. Cards. How many of you got cards? Well done. Number 1. Money. Okay. ATM machine. Easy one. Easy one. Bank account. Okay. Now that I said that was not from my side. That's from a student that I asked. Is there any other more words than you got from her, more than her? Customers. Anything else? Forget. Money and so on. Okay. Now, if I go through these, okay, if I ask any teachers out there, okay, these are the key content words, you're going to say yes. I'm not sure whether you've done this question or not, okay, but these are the key words. If you feel right now, oh yeah, I think I understand now, or this is repeated words, all I have to do during my note taking, that's those who have exam next week or week after. On SST, if I get a new question, I don't care, I don't mind. All I have to do is write stress words and repeated words. Then there is no way in the world you're going to get a 0 in SST. That means you should not get less than 70 in listening. Okay, if you just get SST correct, you should be above 70 straight away. Having said that, your other sections are correct. Okay, not the dictation part, just the other sections are correct. MCQs, highly correct summary, and so on. Okay, so these, why we are putting so much stress in these ones? Just because this is a part of your content words. As long as these words are there, guaranteed score. Score is guaranteed. Okay, now what I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to play another recording. Okay, I'm going to play another recording. I just want to see whether it was not a fluke. Do you understand what fluke means? Like it's not by a chance. You really know how to pick up a word. So I'm going to play another recording. It's an easy recording, but this time I'm interested in both together. Both together. I'm going to play once, and I want to see you can do both together. Are you ready? Yes. Okay. Three, two, one.
These photoreceptors in your eye are an extraordinary piece of engineering. Do you ever sense
Does it go louder?
No.
Oh, that's a bit.
It's not loud.
Is it just the recording itself is very low?
Yes.
Okay, we can still work on it. Can you hear it? Not at all?
No.
Not at all, is it? Do we have any other speakers here? No, we don't. Okay, I'm sorry that I just picked up a sound. Okay, let me go to YouTube. Okay, maybe I can get something out of there because this recording should be in YouTube. No, it doesn't. So it can't, does it? Okay. Okay, I'll play another recording. That's fine. But that's fine. I'll play another recording.
Okay, it can be solved. Like everyone has their own YouTube. Like they can have a look on that through the YouTubes from their mobiles.
Okay.
They can take notes. They can run on their mobiles.
Okay. Do you want to use your phone and then try it?
It's better. If it doesn't work, like then you have to play another audio.
Okay, I'll play another audio. It's fine. I'll play another audio. Okay, I'll play another audio. Are you ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, go.
In 1906 in New York City, the Warren family got sick with a disease called typhoid fever. Typhoid fever was a scary disease without a cure. First, a person would feel tired and feverish, and then they would have muscle aches, weight loss, rash, and a swollen abdomen. Quite often, typhoid fever would lead to death. A government worker came to the Warren home to investigate and see where the typhoid fever could have come from. As the worker investigated, he took notice of the cook, Mary Mullen. Mullen had worked as a cook for many families in the early 1900s, and each of them had contracted typhoid fever. It was soon realized that Mary Mullen was an asymptomatic carrier of typhoid fever. That meant that she had the disease all the time, but she never felt any symptoms of it. She was spreading the disease without even knowing it. Mullen was given the nickname Typhoid Mary. Doctors and scientists were very intrigued by Mullen and wanted to examine her.
I'm just going to stop there. It's okay. Okay, this is a long recording, so we'll just come back to this recording later on anyway. Can I take yours? Okay. Let's have a look. Typhoid fever. Does it fall into repeating or stress words? Repeating words. Okay. Rash and swollen. So it's stress. Okay. Death. Stress. Okay. Sympathetic carrier. A sympathetic carrier. Okay. What else? Typhoid Mary. Cook. Repetitive. Okay. Disease. Okay. Any more? That's okay. Just want to see what you might have. Worked. The word worked. Did anyone pick up the word work? Yes, you have. Okay. Let me see that. All right. New York City. Okay. In 1906, that was the part of stress or repeated?
Stress.
Stress. Death, same thing. Mary Molin, spreading diseases without even knowing it. Yes? Without even knowing it. Is that there as well? Thank you. So that you do understand what is stress and you do understand what it means by repeated words. There you go. So that's right. Those are the part of the key content. But anyway, I'll go back to my slide with the one with the sound receptors. Okay? Okay. So if I go back, sorry. So these photoreceptors, have you done this before? Anyone sound receptor? Anyone? Just 2 of you, 3 of you? Okay. For that particular recording, the stress words were, which you can do at home. Okay, I'm just giving you a head start. Okay. These, it's in YouTube. It's in YouTube. Just write sound receptors, PTE question, and you will find a person, okay, a man in a blue shirt. He's walking around. That's an actual PT question, okay? It's actually a PT question. So the stress words were these photoreceptors, okay, extraordinary, sensitive, sound receptors, beautiful, vibrational, motion, all impressive, remarkable, repeated words, photoreceptors, photon, sound receptors, ears, vibrational energy, and motion. So these were the repeated words and those were the stress words. As long as you are there, I'm saying it again, guys, you're on the right track. All you have to do is just put them together and make a paragraph out. So far, are you clear with stress and repeated words?
Yes.
All right, let's move to the next slide. Oh, we had impressive and we had electrical as well, electrical signals. Okay, now one more practice. We're going to go back to that ATM machine again. Same practice. This time, what I would like you to do, I would like you to look for connecting words. I'm not interested in the words like however, although. What did they say after those connecting words? That is what I'm interested in. Okay, only after the connecting words. The next 2 words or 3 words, only those ones I'm interested in. Are you ready? Okay. So I'm going to play that recording again. ATM machine in 3, 2, 1.
The early years of ATM machines, there were many complaints with the ATMs. The ATM machine is programmed to allow a customer to collect their money first and then take their card. However, this made many people forget their cards, and it was a worrying issue because anyone could have the access to one's bank account. Now, in the UK, the ATM machines have been reprogrammed so that customers will take their card first and then collect their money. As a result, it would be less likely for them to forget the money, since that was the main reason for them to use an ATM. Although people sometimes still forget to take their money, it is more catastrophic to lose your card because it can access to your bank account.
Okay. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back to the slide. They need to the registration. They've done the registration part. You need to get activated. So you just get anyone to get activation of their account.
Yeah, we
Okay.
have to.
Right now, anyone's doing it?
Ryan is coming. Ryan is
Okay.
coming.
Okay. Fine. All right. So, can you tell me some of the words that did you hear anyone had anyway? Yes, no? Did you hear anyway in there? Okay. How about for a start? No, okay. Although? Okay. Moreover? No, okay. Now? Because? As a result? So? Really? No? Okay. What's that? Okay. Well? No? Okay. I mean? However? Yes. Since? Yes, since. Okay. After these words. So what did they say after however? Okay. Many people forget. Now? In the UK. Okay, you've been listening really, really well. You're making me really happy. Okay, yep, that's right. So when you hear these discourse markers, whatever they say after it, pick up those words. Any phrases or words, and we're going to try to put them in our summary. Okay, so this so that you don't get confused what I'm taking notes. You know, I'm just saying because sometimes you're going to get long recordings and you're not really sure what to put it in. These are things I'm going to keep in mind. You don't have to put all of them in there, but if you get the main theme, that's fine with those keywords. All right. Now let's quickly move on. Okay, we did the example part. Okay, now next question comes in. So what's the question? If you don't know the topic, let's just say you wrote all your topics down here, you wrote the keywords down, okay? If you don't know the topic or understand the key content, I think, oh, I'm not sure what the recording is about. What is ATM machine? I never heard of what is ATM, I don't know what it is, okay? And how better can you see so that means how better can you see other words to make it a better SST? So you have those words in front of you, okay? How can I make it into a better SST? Based on the recording which you just heard, okay? What is the whole problem? Like, what do you think was the issue about? And then really sure. Sorry?
During broadcast, sometimes people forget the
Yeah, sometimes the people, so during when they're taking out the cash, they're having problem. They forget taking their cards out. Okay, what did they say in the middle? The middle part of the recording? Reprogramming and okay, they reprogram the sentence. What happened right at the end?
Still the problem.
They still forget their cards, so that's the main idea. So if you're not really sure, okay, is this what I'm just saying right now? Okay, if you're not really actually sure whether it would really is the right content or is not the right content, you're not really sure, what you do, what I would say, you should follow a structure. Okay, structure really helps. So for example, I'm not going to go detail on this structure now, but I would like you to follow it. So for example, do you have the structure written down for you? I think I've done the hard work for you then. You have to copy it. Okay. Sometimes there's another question which is linked to this, is that you mostly feel scared when the audio is too fast. I know you've played this recording 4 times. In the exam, you're going to play only once. And sometimes recordings are very fast as well. And you only picked, okay, so that means you went there, you followed Knight's strategy. I picked up some stress words. I picked up some repeated words, but there are only few in number. Okay? And you're like, oh my God, I'm in big trouble. Okay, what should I do in that case? So how you may practice these sort of audios? That was the question they asked. The practice means you try to hear those stresses, you try to hear those repeated words and written discourse. Try to get as much word as possible around it. If you do, one thing, if the audio is very fast, it's just not you. It's going to be 10 other students that are going to be doing the same thing. Okay, and PT knows as well that students are going to face hard time answering this question or picking up the keywords. In this case, what I would like you to do, I would like you to follow a specific structure. Now, structure, it's already written down. Okay, it has 3 unique sentences, and it's in compound and in complex form. The structure itself has some words in there. All you have to do is take those keywords, which you just written down in case of ATM, and just put it in. Okay. Now, before I write the structure, can you see in front of you? Don't bother looking at this. Just look at the one in front of you have. The dash of dash. Can you see that, everyone? Okay, that is a title. That is the title. So you remember, you need to start with the title. The title really helps to write something about the topic. So what I would like you to do, there are two dashes. One dash is after an article, the, and there's another dash after preposition. Okay. First of all, when the recording has stopped, you've taken your notes down. The first question you need to ask yourself in 1 or 2 words, what is this topic about? Everyone tell me. ATM machine. ATM machine. The first word which you just said in 1 or 2 words will come here. So can everyone write that down somewhere? ATM machine. ATM machine. Yeah. Okay. Now, in 1 word only, tell me what is about ATM machine they discussed here. 1 word. Okay, someone said programming, complaint, drawback, issues, the forget of ATM machines. Okay, close. Okay, we're looking for 1 word that tells you everything. What is about ATM machine? You're getting there. You're very close.
Development.
Withdrawals of ATM machine. Okay. Anything else? Features. Very, very close. Did they just talk about the features, what the ATM machine has, and so on? Not really. There was a problem, and they solved the problem as well, isn't it? So what can you put in 1 word? Sorry? The solution of ATM machine. The effects of ATM machine. Okay. Any more? Loosen. I want 1 word. Yes. Drawbacks of ATM machine. Okay. Could be. But there were also, the significance. But there was also a solution as well. What do you think? Restructuring. Okay, the restructuring. Okay, there can be many words, but you're on the track. You're on the right track. But I'm looking for 1 particular word. Okay. Sorry. Okay, that could be as well. But the thing is, I'm probably just going to go with the operation. Okay, the whole thing's operation. Okay, the operation of ATM machine. But that's not the only word. There can be many other words. Some of the words you said is also correct. I'm not saying no one's wrong here. But I'll need 1 word that will probably explain everything. The whole thing is about the operation or the function. Yeah, 2 easy ones. The operation, the function of the process. Okay, the process of ATM machine. That could be also as well. So let's just say I'm going with the operation or the function. So I'm going to say the function of ATM machine. The function of ATM machine. Do you remember the Mary Molan one?
Yes.
Okay. The whole thing, can you tell me in 1 word or 2 words what is about? Typhoid fever. There you go. So the dash of typhoid fever. Now you tell me in 1 word, what is about typhoid fever they discussed here? Spreading really, how it was spread. In 1906, there was a family, okay? So the word spreading doesn't go with fever, okay? But the concept is, your concept is clear, but the word is not correct. We don't say the spreading of typhoid fever. The effects of effect will be when you got typhoid fever, and then what happened? Okay. The whole thing is discussion anyway. The lecture. That's okay. That's why you mentioned the word lecture. I'm looking for a specific word. The investigation of typhoid fever. Not really. Okay. Anyway, let's go back to the word spread. Do you have any other word when disease spread, what word we use? Sorry? That transmit, the cause. Okay, it's that. Basically, it's the history of typhoid fever, isn't it? Okay. Do you want to say the history of typhoid fever? No? Okay. So it could be spread. Have you watched the zombie movies? Yeah? Yeah, zombie movies. We love zombies, don't we? What do they say when a disease or virus spread?
Outbreak.
Outbreak. That's the word I was looking for. Okay? Outbreak, isn't it? The outbreak of typhoid fever. So that's how you can start. So I'm not saying you're right or wrong. She's right. She's in the spreading. That's fine. But I would be looking for a right collocation with a right word, particular word. Okay? That's how you construct your headline. Try to keep it simple. Okay? One thing, if you practice on Iowa, which you just registered, you will see almost all the headings are very similar. If you do 5 to 10 of those, you will see rest of them is very similar as well. Okay, very similar as well. So let's just say the operation of or the function of ATM machine is much focus on this lecture, comma, and it comprises that, and then you say the first part. It comprises, that means you say the first part of your recording, the first part of your note. What was it comprising? What does it have? What's the first part? Yeah, big. Yeah, so you take your keywords. Let me see. Can I just borrow? Yeah. So you can see cards, people forget. Okay, you can talk about that. ATM machine. So when people are drawing money from the ATM machine, they forget to take their cards. That's how you explain your sentence number 1. That's it.
But
Just
if we want to get the keywords, the sentences we want after the connectors, then we put them.
yes, you can. You can arrange it as long as you can arrange it. Why not? Why not? So, but what I would like you to do when you're constructing these 3 sentences, just take your note, okay? Just take your note and divide it into 3 equal parts. You understand? Can you just do that now? Okay, the ATM machine, and just divide it into 3 equal parts. Okay, 3 equal parts. Just 3 equal parts. Approximately 3 equal parts. You don't have to be accurate. 3 equal parts. Just underline it. 1, 2, and 3. 3 equal parts. Just divide it with your hand. 3 boxes. Do you know why there are 3 different sentences? Sorry, I already told the answer. There are 3 different boxes because there are 3 sentences. So what are you going to do from your box 1? Whatever the content you have, try to put them in your sentence number 1. Okay? And then from your box, second box, what has started in the middle, put that in your middle sentence. Also to put more emphasizes on dash. Emphasizes that keyword from the headline. What's the keyword? Let's go with the ATM machine. The keyword is? No. The key topic. Sorry, I'm going to say the word. Which is the most key topic in the ATM machine? Is it the ATM machine itself? I just want it in 1 word or 2 words. Which one? ATM machine. So also to put more emphasis on ATM machine, okay, comma, it also denotes that. Then you say something around your box number 2. Say those content in here. Is that clear? Yes? Alright. The last sentence is going to be your conclusion line. You're wrapping up the information. What did they say at the end of the ATM machine? They have reprogrammed it. That's right, reprogrammed. That's the word, right? Reprogram. Anything else? Any other keywords you picked up? They reprogrammed, and what else? People still forget, isn't it? They reprogrammed it, but people still forget, isn't it? That's what you write here. That's it. That's all you need to do. So considering the insights, or you can write hence if you want. If you're running out of words. Because there's a word limit in SST. What's the word limit? 50 to 70. Sometimes you're going to see that I need to, not 75, someone says 75. 70, 50 to 70. Okay? So sometimes you'll see that you wrote a lot and they say, oh my god, I wrote like 85 words. I need to bring it down. So what you do, you try to shorten your key sentences. Not the keywords. By structure here, the red ones. Try to make it into smaller. Like for example, the first one, the dash of dash is much focused in this lecture. Just don't bother. The dash of dash is focused in this lecture. Okay? Also, to put more emphasis on, just cut that out. Also, and straight away start talking. What else you want to say? Constant inside, you don't have to worry about it. Just use word hence. This is only, okay, when you have so many things to say. If you don't have so many things to say, it will be the other way, right? Put as 100% from your structure as much as possible and add your key content in. Is that clear?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Let's move on. Now, I'm not talking too much around this structure. When you do the classes, okay, they will just probably go around and explain you the structure properly. Yeah?
Sorry.
Yep.
What is the minimum number of keywords?
Coming to it. Okay, coming to it. I've got that question for you as well. All right. All right. Now, another student. Okay. I also played the recording, ATM machine. Now you tell me, from your point of view, this is what she wrote. If you are used to take any words as keywords, okay, is it possible to get 79 in listening and writing? So let me say these are the words that students picked up. ATM, however, anyone, UK, customer, main reason, forget, bank account. Do you think these words are enough? You tell me. Yes or no? No, not really. Okay, with these, you can feel they're not keywords, are they? Maybe one or two are, but there's not much. How much keywords are there? So you can't put any words as you like. And you know it. You just use, what words I need to pick up? Stress words, okay, connecting words after connecting words, what they said, and repeating words. Not enough said. Because this student randomly picked up any words from the same recording. It's not enough. Now why? The explanation is, it depends on the keyword. So minimum, so that means can I get 79? Yes or no? Okay? Minimum content words must be there. I mean, you can't have minimum content words. You need to put as much content words as possible. And if you're unsure of which words are keywords, best document as many words possible without upsetting the theme of the lecture. So basically what's happening, if there's not enough keywords in there, there's a very good chance that you're going to get a 0. If the content words is not enough, if content is 0, then everything will be 0. Okay? But today, I hope that you won't nowhere in the world you will get content 0. Because I'll be looking after those stress words, repeating words, and I'll be looking after the connecting words. So if those words are there, there's no chance you're going to get a 0 in content. It's only for students that just wrote randomly and think, I'm just going to put that in and I'm going to get 79. It's not going to work. Clear? Yeah, everyone clear?
What is the structure? Are we able to get 79?
So, okay. Now, that's the way the question comes in. So, you got your content. You got enough of your content words. In your case, you wrote a lot. If you want, you can write as less from, you'll use the structure, okay? But try to put more of those content words in. You're definitely going to get a score. Now, sometimes the recording plays fast, or maybe you wrote a little bit less than what you expected to write. Like, oh my God, I didn't hear the accent. Try to use that structure. I think the structure is very unique because it has compound and complex sentence structures in it. Okay? All the grammar scores, spelling scores are in there. So you don't have to worry about it. Clear? Okay.
I have one question.
Yes, please.
You said that you have to pick up the keywords. For example, if you pick up all the keywords and you came up with the meaning, then what should we do? For example, if the
Yeah, so there has to be main theme. So like the ATM machine, you could just go easily divert you can probably just explain the one aspect. You just, like for example, what happened in the ATM machine, there was a problem, right? There was a problem. And what you did when you're writing your SST, you just talked about the problem part, but you did not talk about the solution. The solution, what happened at the end. So in that case, because now, how do you lose out of the main content? It's because probably you did not pick up the last few words, okay, as a key content. As a result, you're diverting the answer to some extent. So that means if someone wrote a full answer in content, they'll get 2. In your case, you're probably going to get 1 in content. But that doesn't mean that you're going to lose your full score. It's just that in the content part, you're going to lose a little bit. That's all it means. Okay? But we will practice now where you will see that even you get content, it's 10 marks, the marks distributed. Okay? So even you get 1 mark in content, that is, you did not touch all the aspects, you did not understand properly, you only wrote one of the aspects, then still you're going to get score. You're still going to get score. Okay? So it's nothing to worry about. But you don't want to be too much diverted away. Other than then content words will not be there, there's a very good chance you'll not get anything out of it. Okay? Yeah. So just try to put as much content as possible. Alright.
So, word range is 50 to 70. So, should we target minimum words or should we target maximum?
Yeah, I'll come to that answer as well. Keep hold on to that. I'll come to that. So I'm going to talk about the structure as well. And I'll talk about that as well. 50 to 70. Okay? Should I write 50 words or should I write 70 words? Okay? Alright, next sentence. Okay. Some suggest that you should use complex or compound or simple sentences in SST. Okay? We people, friends, personally like to write simple sentences. Okay? That's what we do. Okay? But what is the best? Complex sentence or compound sentences are required when there are a great number of ideas. Okay? And one needs to stay under word limit as well. Now, PTE guide itself says you need to write in compound and complex sentences. That's what the PTE guide say. That's what we have to follow. You can write the whole thing in simple sentences, but no, it's not going to work out. You're not going to get a full score in writing. So you need to write in compound and complex sentences. Oh my God, I don't know how to write compound and complex in structure. Don't worry, the structure itself is a compound and complex. You just put your keywords in. That's all you have to do. Clear? Okay. What are the key areas to focus in SST to get a better score in PTE writing? How can you be confident going on the right path at the time of practice? Well, sentence structuring with clear communication. Again, your grammar comes in, your spelling mistake, your vocabulary, and so on. The structure has the vocabulary there. As long as you know how to use that structure, putting the words in, okay, as much grammar mistake as possible, you're on the right track. Simply means, in your way, when you're practicing in Iowa, instant checker, okay, as long as you're getting 8 and 9s out of 10, or 75 plus above, you're on the right track. Is that clear? So today you already got registered in, have they all been registered? I mean, they've registered, but have they been accepted?
You can just log in and check.
Everyone?
Yep, I think most of them are already done. Can you guys just log in and check with the password ABC in small letters, please? And if you haven't made, just tell me. I'll come around and activate it for you. Okay? Enrolled students, don't worry. Just
Have you
log
done
into
it?
ABC.
Registered? Okay. Now, thing is, how do I know I'm doing? I just said, as long as in your scorecard in Iowa, if it shows you you're getting 8, 9s, and 10s, you're on the right track. You're doing it correctly. Okay? There's no problem at all. Okay. But make sure try to avoid as much grammar mistakes and spelling mistakes as possible. Can you log in, everyone? We're gonna practice one, that's why. We will be writing your answer. I'm going to be asking your scores. Can everyone log in? Yeah? Your phone is dead? You can use this. Laptop. We'll see how you write. That's fine. But rest, everyone can you log in? Yeah, we're going to do ATM machine. Okay, actually, just help them out. Just raise your hand if you cannot log in, okay? Okay. Now guys, this is important. This is what I'm very confused about. This particular question. If the whole audio, like the one in Mary Molan, okay, the one in Mary Molan, is about past event. Oh, Mary Molan, do you remember in 1906, okay, she was, affected with typhoid fever. Everything is in past form. What about ATM machine? What tense was it in? Present or past? The ATM machine. You want me to play it again? Okay, I will. But typhoid Mary, that was in past, right? The question is, may you write in present tense or may you write in multiple tense? So for example, if the whole audio is in past form, can I write in past form? Yes, you can. Do you understand? Yes, you can. If the record is in past form, can I write my answers in past form? Yes, you can. Is that clear? If the record is in present form, can I write in present form? Yes, I can. You may use multiple tenses in one SST as well. That means you can write both past and you can write both present. It's not like your essay that you just write it all in past, your past event. You can use both, mix it up. Is that clear? Don't worry about tenses. That's what simply means. But when you think the story was in past form, why should I write in present form? Okay, you're not comfortable, write the whole structure in past form. Any question regarding this, tense? Okay. Alright, now I'm coming to your question. Your question is about how many words do I need to write? First, I think both are very similar question. The question was that, should I write close to 50s or should I go close to 70s? Your question was that, how many content words I need to put it in? Okay. So first thing first, okay, how many, because we'll be following a structure, how many words does the structure itself has? That's the first thing we need to consider. Can you count the first words from the structure that you have in front of you? How many words are there? Yeah, go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The first sentence. 11 or 12? Everyone agree? 11 or 12? 12, that's right. So the number 12 is there. 12 words. What about the second sentence? Oh, because you look at the number 10. Okay. And what the last one? 8. So altogether, approximately? 30. Why do you believe me so much? I could be wrong. Because I thought you guys going to add. Okay, let's just allow 30 words. Okay, how many words minimum then I have to put it in? Minimum? 20. Another 20. Maximum? 40. Okay, now you tell me, so now you guys tell me, you have all those stress words and you have all those repeated words. If you want to put them in, don't you think you will need to write a lot? What do you think? Do you think only 20 words will fit in and you can be able to explain everything? No. You probably need to write, you need to utilize all what is left. That means you have 40 words left, right? I mean, you can max, that means you have 40 more words from your content, those keywords, and put it in. So, depends on your note taking, how many words you can put it in. You felt when you were doing it, these are repeated words, these are my stress words, I am sure they are part of the content, I need to put them in. That means you need to try to fit in those 40 words. If you feel that you got less words, then try to maybe, okay, just maybe take those words, you've got 30 words already, and you also have less number of content words, you might need to add some more words, okay? But in that case, what's going to happen, you have very less chance you'll get low scoring content, okay? Because you straight away missed out the keywords. But that's why what you need to rephrase using the same content again and again, same keywords, write in a different way. Otherwise, what else can you do? You already missed it. So you're going to use whatever content keywords you have and write them, rephrase them again. That's all you can do. And if you've got lots of words, then you can pick out. I'll take my repeated words first, so they've been repeated the most, and then I'm going to go with my connecting words, and I'm going to go with my stress words related to the headline. Related to my headline. The headline is like the operation, only the operation part. You don't have to say everything. The operation part. Typhoid fever, how it was spread. So you only talk about this, how it spread, nothing else. Okay? Just how it spread. That's all you can do it.
Just a quick one,
Yeah.
guys, before you continue. Anybody who cannot log in to ION, to the instant check-in?
Okay. How many sentences should you write for getting a better score in SST? Any idea? 3? Because I have to put 3 in there. How about 5? What do you think? What do you guys say? 4. How many words? 4? Anything else? Any number? 7? Why do you think, if I write 7 sentences, why do you think I have a very less chance I'm going to get a low score? Why is that? Let's just say I wrote it in 70 words, 7 sentences. Sorry?
It will become simple.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you very much. It is a simple sentence. Most of them will be simple sentences. We use 3 sentences or 4 sentences because we want to write compound or complex. If you usually, like if you follow the structure that we have, we put on average, one sentence on average is about 15 to 16 words when you put your content words in. The first sentence is 12 words itself. The first sentence, you counted, right?
Yeah.
12 words. That's already there. Okay? If you add about another 8 or 9 words, that's going to be 20 words in the first sentence. That's why we follow 3 or 4 sentences. Is that clear? I hope no one's going to write more than that. Yeah? Okay. Just a quick one. This is the answer taken. I put a 3 sentence in that. This is one of the answers that is fixed. The contribution of Armory Lovins in energy sources is focused in this lecture, and it comprises that he pays attention on energy saving using existing technology. Can you just count the number of words in there? That's a 3 sentence structure. How many words? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 26. Okay? So if you write in this form, better chance you're going to get a high score. So that's one of the answers, sample answers in that Iowa software. So we would like to write in this 3 or 4 sentences, both are acceptable. 3 is better because our structure is made in 3 sentences, but you write 4 sentences, no problem. But try to avoid simple sentences. That's all you need to think about. What is the importance of using discourse markers, connecting words? Okay, very simple. This helps to express the flow of information. That means you're going from topic 1 to topic 2 and topic 3. 3 parts. The 3 parts of the recording. And also the PT guideline I mentioned earlier, they did mention that you have to use in discourse the flow of information. It's in the guideline, so we need to follow that as well. That's another reason. Okay? And one question you might ask, if you do spelling mistakes in SST, okay? Some of you have really low spelling mistakes. Score. Have you looked at your scorecard?
Yeah.
Oh my god, my spelling is 20.
From last 1 or 2 months.
Okay, like 20, is that? So it's
15.
15. Some of you, like some of my students said, I'm pretty sure I checked all my spelling.
Yes.
I double check, triple check. Why is it 20? I just don't understand. I'm going to give you the answer right now. You'll be happy. Okay? Okay, so first question is, if you do spelling mistakes in SST, does it destroy the chances of getting 79? Yes or no? That's the question. Well, first thing, the fact. No, but 2 spelling errors, you lose 2 points. That's a fact. You're going to lose score. But the question is, am I going to get 79? Yes or no? So let's look at the scorecard. And let's just answer right now. Okay? These are the 2 scorecards. I can't show it like in a broad items. Do you think you can make it bigger? Is there a remote control? Is it possible? Okay, so I'm going to go from the left side. You can't see it, even I can't see it from here. I'll just say out loud. Oh, actually, I can't see.
You can look at the bar, so it just gives you a rough idea.
Okay, so can you just tell me? Can you tell me the numbers here? Just from your point of view, do you know the numbers?
17.
So what did the student get in listening? What did the student get? Okay, I'll look at from here. And I'll just tell you the number. So if I go to...
That's Ruben, right?
Okay. So the first person is Rubel. His listening score is 80. Reading is 85. Speaking is 90. Writing is 79. Grammar 80. Fluency 90. Pronunciation 90. Spelling 17. Okay? Vocabulary 90. Reading discourse 85. He got it. Okay? He got it.
He's lucky.
Okay, must be a lucky guy. Okay, let's go with another person. She cannot be, it can't be coincidence another person gets it. Okay? Listening 79, reading 82, speaking 90, writing 79. Okay? Grammar 79, oral fluency 90, pronunciation 86, spelling 20. 3 more marks than him. Okay? So what simply means, spelling, you do lose some score, but there's no chance of losing a 79 from spelling. So that means don't worry about spelling. That's what something means. It just gives you an indication, but don't take it into your personally. Oh, I've got spelling 20. No, it's not. It's spelling.
So maximum loss is 2 marks.
No. So we got your it comes from your essay. It comes from your SWT and SST. Okay, all together, and that is converted to 9. It just gives you an idea. In those 3 questions, okay, it affected your. You affected your spelling. That's all it does. Nothing else. Sorry? That doesn't show up in that 20 score. So definitely, you fill in the blanks. It says cats, C-A-T-S, period C-E-T-S. Okay, that you lose the word score, but it won't show up here as a spelling mistake. Okay, it won't show up here. But this gives you an idea. But you just don't take spelling into consideration. That I'm not going. Because of spelling, I'm not getting 79. No. Okay. Yeah, that's a good. Just not these. There's like tons. I just put 2 in there. Okay, there's tons more. Recently, usual length of any SST audio is more than 100 seconds. More than 100 seconds. The one with the typhoid fever, that's a long one. Someone is too good to take notes. Some of you are very good at taking notes. Really good. Okay, you probably wrote an essay. Okay? And process more than 70-80 words as key information. How can you make a bad SST when you have already taken 60 to 70 words? You already taken more than 60 to 70 words. Okay? First, when you got that whole lot of words, try to recall what you heard. What is the main theme? You're really lucky guy because you wrote all the key contents. All you need to do is just read and try to reflect the flow information. Try to use less structure. Use much possible from the structure. Try to write less. Okay? Try to put more of your content words in. Now, avoid some words that are not being repeated, that are not being stressed, but you still put it in. But I know that you're not going to make that mistake again because in the audio, not all the words are going to be stressed. But in case you do, try to avoid the words that have not been stressed or not been repeated and so on. Only write those words and try to write less from the structure, more of the content words. If you have written a lot of keywords. Is that clear? Okay. Stress repeated words. That's it. Okay, now he's going to do the note taking. Before that, I would like you to practice 9-1 first. So everyone, let's get it to take notes one more time, and we're going to log into iWork, and we're going to see what you learned today. All right? Okay, are you ready? Okay, I'm going to play the ATM machine again. You've already taken the notes. Just double check. Just double check. I'm going to play 2 recordings, but let's do this one first.
The early years
Okay, in 3, 2, 1.
of ATM machines, there were many complaints with the ATMs. The ATM machine is programmed to allow a customer to collect their money first and then take their card. However, this made many people forget their cards, and it was a worrying issue because anyone could have the access to one's bank account. Now, in the UK, the ATM machines have been reprogrammed so that customers will take their card first and then collect their money. As a result, it would be less likely for them to forget the money, since that was the main reason for them to use an ATM. Although people sometimes still forget to take their money, it is more catastrophic to lose your card because it can access to your bank account.
Okay. So, yes, now log in, everyone. So I'm going to log in front of you so that you know what we are doing. Okay. So if I go to my instant checker, so I'll just log in as well. My.kanal PTE studies. Everyone, can you please log in? I think I did the other way around. Okay. Okay, so I think I'm in. So have you got something like this?
Yes.
Yep, everyone? Okay, so we're going to click in the writing. And then you're going to go to summary writing then. If you do, there's something called summarize written text and summarize spoken text. So clicking in here. Okay, and I'm going to look for ATM. ATM. I found it. ATM. Did you get it, everyone? You can use your phone right now. Use the structure in front of you. Okay, if you can, use the structure. I would suggest to write the structure. Actually, everyone should use the structure. Okay, for this particular example, use the structure. And I would like to write on your answer here. 10 minutes. Start writing. You don't have to play the recording. I've already done that for you. You just need to start writing the answer. The dash of dash is much focus in this specific lecture. And it comprises that. And then start writing. Alright, time is clicking. 10 minutes. The maximum words you can write is 70, but I would like you to write 69 words, please. Highest, 69. Summarize spoken text, ATM machine. Account is deactivated. Yeah, okay, I'll fix it up. It'll take 1 minute. I'll fix it up. That's fine. Email please. S SH.
First one.
Oh really? Is it the one with 19?
Yep.
Yep, it's deactivated. I'm gonna activate it again. Are you guest student today?
Yes.
Okay. There you go. So you should be able to log in. So Shustahan, does it log in?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, well done.
What's it?
Patel.
N-I-K-I-T-A.
Sorry, Patel.
N-I-K-I-T-A.
N-I-K. Okay, Nikita. Is it 661?
Yep.
Are you guest today? Okay. It shows that you're a student here.
Enrolled student.
Oh, okay. Why are you saying you're a guest? Okay, you're an enrolled student. Okay. Hmm. Okay, time. Make sure you write about 69 words. Okay, don't go to 70, okay? Can you check the phone there? Okay. That's good. You get your score? Let's see. Okay. So what did you get? 1.1. Not too bad. It's just those spelling mistakes, that's it. Silly mistake, a typo, right? Yeah. You did well. Not too bad. Okay. 6 more minutes. Yeah, I think you would have got very good score, just those typo errors. You're well. Well done. Oh, really? Oh, okay. That's fine, you can do that more. Okay? Done? Let's see. Let me read. Let's see. Okay, the question. Some down mistakes in that. Let's see. Let's see. Where's your notes? Okay. So did you use all the repeated words in here? Not put it in. Not put all the repeated words in. Okay. there must be. Yeah. Yep. Over here is scroll down. We'll show you all the spelling mistakes. Try to put as many repeated words as possible. Okay? If you did write repeated words, try to put them in. Okay? Done? วินัย email for sure. What did you get? Yeah, go for it. You got 90? That was good. 3 more minutes. Come on. 3 more minutes. Yes, sir. Two more minutes. 2 more minutes. Just want you to write ATM. The last part. So what you do is divide it into 3 parts. What did you say? Overall, I write each part into what parts. Okay, 35 seconds. You need to press enter or submit. 30 seconds. 25. Okay, let's. Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. Okay, 10 seconds done. Okay, how many of you got 81? Well done. 2. 2 people got 81 already, straight away. Jumped. How many of you got 70 plus? Raise your hand. 70 plus. Okay, that's still a very good score. Okay. Those who got less than 75, most of you have in this case, is it because of your spelling error? So the question was, have you noticed the spelling it does affect your score to some extent. Spelling plus there were grammars as well. How many of you got content? One, just raise your hand. Content one. Not too many. Okay, now I'll just explain it. Content one or two. Two means that you've covered all the words that were required. All the words from your keynotes. Those who got one, that means whatever notes you've taken, you did not put them in. You only used some of the words, not all the words. If you did, your content would have been 2. Do you understand? Okay, that's why your content score is less in that case. So if you do same practice, which you got access now anyway, if you do about another 5 to 10, this time, like not putting it, like put more emphasis on your content words, try to put it in fill up. Secondly, try to avoid those grammar mistakes and spelling mistakes. As long as you're getting your score 70 above, in the next 5 or 6 of the recordings, you're going to do really well in the PTE exam. That's it. That is all the trick to this strategy for this SST. Do you understand? So let's quickly wrap up what I just said. Number 1, the recording has started. I'm going to take the notes on my stress words. I'm going to take notes on the repeated words. And what are the content, what are the connecting words they've used? I'm going to write them down as well. Recording has stopped playing. Okay? I've got plenty good of words, maybe 50, 40 words written down. Okay? What I'm going to do, I'm going to divide my notes into 3 equal parts. The note-taking part will show you anyway, 3 equal parts or 4 equal parts and so on. But in my case, 3 equal parts. When the note-taking is done, I'm going to construct my headline. And then I'm going to try to put in my repeated words. Using the structure, I'm going to try to put my repeated words and my, which words? Stress words in as much as possible. Don't, like some of you did not, like those who got content 1, although you have written down the keywords, you did not put it them in. You would have, if you'd done it, you'd have seen your score just jumped. Okay? And the spelling and the grammar mistake, that will come. That's naturally, it's there. But it's just, the more you practice, the more you type your answers every day. There's about 35 questions in that software. Those who just came in today just to see what this workshop is all about, you've got 24-hour access. It's free. Go home and start it. You probably won't be able to do all of it, but at least you can do 5 and 6 next 24 hours. Especially those who have exam next week and week after. Just practice those. It's enough. If you're still getting 70 plus, you can do really well. You're going to come back and say, oh yeah, this is listening work, my score jumped. So that's what you're going to say. Is that clear, everyone? Did you learn something? Yes. Was it worth it? Yes. Okay, thank you then, alright? Okay, then Asha will just take over and he's going to go through the dictation part. Alright then, thank you. And thanks. Yep, dictation. Just gonna take this. Okay. Is that okay? Yeah. Oh. All the best, guys. Okay, you need to get to school. Good luck.
Guys, would you want some spare paper just in case you don't have anything to write on for the dictations? I'll just pass around some sheets. Pick one. Pass on by this, please. Not on any sheet, just hold on to it.
written that. What is that?
Is it yours or mine? It had to connect because I just connected it. Oh, sorry.
Hi guys, good evening. My name is Akshay. I'm not from Brisbane. I'm the local giant because boy doesn't collocate with my personality. Yeah. So I've been with the institute for last 1 year, one and a half year now. Today we are going to do write from dictation. So now it's covered summarized spoken text. So we will do write from dictation. Side by side, I'll be answering few questions regarding written sentence as well in case, because they are quite similar types of questions. But our core focus would be mainly write from dictation. Yeah? So let's start. So as we all know, how many of you guys doing PT for the very first time who has no idea about PT? Anyone? Yes? Okay. How many of you don't know the full form of PT? Okay? Let me put it the other way. So the Pearson test of English, it has mainly 4 communicative skills. Yeah, we have listening, reading, speaking, listening, reading, speaking, and writing. So these are our 4 communicative skills. So out of these, and there are few enabling skills as well, which will help us to determine when you come to us with the scorecard. We'll be having a look at your enabling skills, which are down here, which will give us an idea where you've gone wrong, which exact question you guys gone wrong in, and we can give you some insights over it. So these are your enabling skills, and these are our, like, if people are coming from India, I give this in an analogy most of the time. So these are like your, you know, when you're born in India, most of the time they take your name, place of birth, and time of birth to a person who is sitting with a parrot. So that is how it is. Yeah, that's your astrology. It's like your planets. Yeah. So these are all your planets. And they say that, okay, he's going to excel in his career, he's not going to excel in his career and stuff. So this gives me a proper idea where your actual communicative skills are, which exact question you guys are facing difficulty in. Okay? So if you have some time after this session, you guys can come with your previous scorecard. I will give you a proper understanding. We can analyze your scorecard and let you know which exact question you guys are facing difficulty in. So to get these scores, we need to understand that we are not writing the exam for 90 marks, we are writing it for 220 to 250 marks for each section. So there is this is our raw score. And then they define saying that if a person is scoring between 244 to 250, give the person a score of 90, 238 to 243, give the person a score of 89. So we don't know exactly how many marks we are writing the exam for. But we need to understand, we need to focus on those very questions that will boost my score, which will make me fall in the range of 79 plus, say around 176 to 181. If a person is scoring between this score, the person is getting 79 plus. Suppose, that's just an assumed number. That's not my final number, I've just assumed. Because he might be giving the exam for 250 marks, she might be giving it for 220 marks. We never know. But there is one thing which we can know. There is one thing which I can tell you right now. That there are certain questions which can certainly have a significant impact on your score. There are 12 such questions. And we are going to focus on those 12 questions in our, that would be our priority on when we are practicing at home as well as when we are doing it in the examination as well. The reason I'm telling you guys, because this one and the one you did before this one come under those 12 questions. The reason I'm telling this one, because this is the last question of your examination, of your whole listening section as well as your whole examination. Because this question is not difficult by itself. We make it complicated by prioritizing questions which are not very important. For example, you need to understand that summarized spoken text has an allocated time of 10 minutes each. Then there are 7 different types of questions. We have MCQ multiple. Okay, I can navigate you to the next slide. Okay, if it's not visible, you can have a look here. MCQ multiple, highlight correct summary, listening fill in the blanks, highlight incorrect words, select missing words, MCQ single, and write from dictation. Now the write from dictation comes under those 12 important questions. These two come under those 12 important questions which are really required to get your 79 plus. Okay? Now, if you are prioritizing on these questions, you need to understand you get around, say, except for summarized spoken text, you get around 2 into 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 into 3. So 15, 3 into 6, 18, plus 4, 22. 15 to 22 questions, and you get the time of around, say, 17 to 24 minutes. So approximately you are getting 1 minute to solve each question. Now that is also, the twist in the tail is that it is inclusive of your audio time. So PD is assuming that you are parallelly solving the question listening to the audio. And what we do, we listen to the audio. Oh, my tutor has said give 2 minutes for the question. I'm going to do justice. I'm going to wait and do 2 minutes. You have already wasted 1 minute with the audio. Now you are wasting another 2 minutes. That means you are contributing 3 minutes. What happens? You are prioritizing these questions, and when you come to write from dictation, you have less time. You can't contribute, you can't do justice to one of the most important questions because you're prioritizing here, the other questions. You need to understand, guys, there are these questions, they are just like your traps. For example, multiple choice multiple, highlight correct summary, and MCQ single. These are your traps, which are just put in place so that you waste your time. If these are traps, this multiple choice multiple is called the bloody trap. The reason being, first of all, it's a bit challenging to solve. It takes more time, and the cherry on the cake is that it's got negative marking. So whatever is the scenario they've decided, they'll not give you marks there. Why waste that time there? Because I have seen people who have literally not done anything in those questions but still able to score above 85 or even 90. Now why prioritize these questions? I'm not saying asking you guys to skip it, but you need to understand there is an important question down below and I need to manage my time accordingly. Time management is the key, guys. While you're doing your write from dictation or your listening section or your reading section, you need to understand that time management is the key. If you don't manage your time effectively, you are going to be at a greater loss. Am I clear? So what we are going to do is, whenever we are doing this in the listening section, you need to understand that, okay, I'm not getting the answer, never mind. I have an important question down below. You are just going to select an answer. We will give you the strategies. You will be applying the strategies in case, okay, worst case scenario, you're not able to get the answer. I would rather say you have to move on with the question. Don't have to stick to the question right there. You need to move on with the question. Go see that you have to focus on your most important question, that is right from dictation. There are a lot of things, guys. You need to understand once, mainly in your MCQ single. Have a look how strategically they have placed these questions here. There is one question right before right from dictation, which is one of the most important questions. In my exam, when I was doing the exam, very first time, I was a student back at that time. Long time ago. Hafiz was my tutor. Raina was my tutor. Long time ago. In 2017. 2016. 2016 December. What happened when I was giving my exam for the first time after getting my coaching here? I knew that right from dictation is one of the most important questions. I had around 4 minutes left and I got an MCQ single question and the audio started playing. Now the time was running. I knew that this is not very important. I want to go to the next question, that is right from dictation. I had 3 right from dictations to solve and I know they are the most important question. I'm trying to navigate to the next question and I'm not able to do that. Once the audio starts playing, you can't move on to the next question. Once the audio starts playing, you can't move on to the next question. Even if you don't want, you need to listen to the whole audio. You have to listen. And I was like getting so frustrated, I'm not even able to forward the audio. I have to just wait. So what the best thing I did was I already selected an answer. I didn't even listen to the audio. I just selected the answer. As soon as the audio finished, I just clicked next. Hopefully, or thankfully I could say, I finished whole of my write from dictation with, I guess, 8 seconds to spare. 8 seconds to spare. Doesn't matter. My MCQ single, I knew I had not even listened to the audio. I just selected. Irrespective, guys, I scored 90 in all. I will tell you all of our experiment results. Furthermore, we have done a lot of experiments. We do it on time-to-time basis. You need to understand there are certain, we know which questions are really very critical. And on those 12 questions, we ask you guys to focus on those 12 questions and not to prioritize again on those 12 questions. Because those are already prioritized. I don't want you guys to again say, okay, in this which is more important. Yeah? Okay, having said that, let's start with write from dictation. Now, will you know that how important that question is? I'll tell you, one of my students from Express course, Deepak, last month, he scored 76 in listening and 76 in writing. In reading he scored 90, in speaking he scored 90. The reason being, he just missed 2 write from dictations because he couldn't manage time well. Just missed 2 write from dictations because he couldn't manage the time well. He came to me, he said, this is what happened, I prioritized other questions, I couldn't do it. So I said, okay, don't worry. 2 days after, I told him, if you're not able to get the answer, just move forward, just move forward, just move forward. See that you're doing justice to write from dictation, which is the most important question. Just 2 days after, guys. Luckily he got an exam date in 2 days. And he did, I guess he came somewhere during Tuesday and during the weekend he did his exam. And this time he managed his time well and literally he again got 90 in listening and 90. He got all 90s this year. It's all only because right from dictation is one of the most important questions. You can't neglect that question. You can't neglect that question. What is right from dictation then? Is it something, it's so important, is it something rocket science? Is it something very difficult or very complex? No, it isn't. A sentence is played of around 8 to 12 words, but nowadays the number of words have increased a bit, so you can expect around 14 to 16 words as well sometimes. 14 to 16 words. So that's how they are making it more challenging, by increasing the number of words and by adding some new accents to it. Adding some new accents to it. And there is some background noise as well. So again, it is getting a bit more complicated, right? Background noises, accents, on top of that, more number of words. So a sentence is played of around 8 to 16 words, and we have to write this sentence down. We have to write this sentence down, or which actually means you need to type it in. You need to type the sentence as it is. That is your write from dictation. Very simple. Just one sentence is played and you have to type it. Now the amount of time is all in your hands. How much time you have saved from these questions, that much amount of time you get in your write from dictation. If you have spent too much of time in these questions, that means you'll have very less time in write from dictation. Clear? Yeah. Okay. Oh, sorry. So this is how your sample screen will look like. You listen to the audio and then you will be typing it there. Now we've got some volume controls in case you want to control it, but we know that we don't have to. It's quite clear most of the time. So you type your sentence there, whatever sentence you hear, and then that's the word count as well. So there is cut, copy, paste. I don't know why they use it, but they've given us. So we'll have a look at the marking. So in 8 to 12 words, now I will actually tell you how you are actually marked for your write from dictation. So you need to understand there is something called, I come from a bit of IT background, so I can literally tell you how you are marked when it comes to write from dictation. So there is one method, okay? So it is called boxing and segmenting method. So whenever you write something, say for example this sentence, the circulation desk is at the ground floor. Okay, ground floor, something like this. Now, first what they do, every word is boxed. Every word is boxed. They have a special, they give a special entity, or they define this box with a special name or an appropriate name or a unique name, you could say. Every name, every word is boxed. And then what they do, they suppose my answer is the circulation desks are at the ground floor. Something like this. This is my answer. First, it is boxed. The first thing it does is it checks for the box. Is that the? Then it will check for the sequence of the box. And later on what it does, just to see you have included everything, your punctuations are right, it starts segmenting it. It requires a T with a capital letter, it requires a T with a capital letter. It requires a H with a smaller case, it requires a H with a smaller case. It requires E with a smaller case, it requires E with a smaller case. So later on you are segmented character by character. It requires a space, there has to be a space. Now, Nahid was speaking, oh, I'm losing marks in my spellings, but still I'm getting 19 writing, because the extra space which you give, sometimes we press space double times, right? Sometimes when I'm giving a paragraph indent, I wrote my first paragraph, suppose in essay, mainly in essays. I wrote my first paragraph, For my second paragraph, instead of pressing enter once, I press enter twice. Now this paragraph indent, extra spaces, these all go to your spelling errors. These all marks are contributed to your spelling errors. But in your write from dictation, guys, don't make mistakes of even giving extra space. You need to be very careful with your space, because a space is also calculated as a character and you lose marks. So that's why they have given a higher emphasis on this question. There is a special reason they have given such higher emphasis. They put you under pressure. It is the last question. You already tired. Your date is already waiting on the dinner table. There's a lot of pressure, both personal and as well as from the whole exam environment as well. And that's the last question. So we just want to finish the exam and go. That's how the vacuum or the void is created for you guys. So you need to understand how you are being marked here. So if I don't put a full stop here, then when I segment this thing, this segment requires a full stop. It will ask where is the full stop, no full stop, okay, deduct a mark. So that is how you are marked for each and every word, also each and every character. Got it? So be very careful when you are typing it. So that is how important write from dictation can be when it is being marked. Okay. So what are my critical success factors? What are my critical success factors when it comes to write from dictation? Understanding academic vocabulary, oral sequencing of words, comprehending speed, accent and variations in tone, and using correct spellings. So these are my 4 things. What do you mean by understanding academic vocabulary? Now there might be some words, we will have an example for each of these as we do the practice today. There might be some words that might be pronounced differently, but you are writing the spelling in a different way. For example, how many of you can tell me, if anyone tells me the right spelling of this word? Let me plan later, okay? Let me check my budget. Okay, if anyone gives me the writing, I'll give you a gift from my side. Who can spell repertoire for me? Repertoire. Okay, based on the syllables, repertoire. Can anyone spell it for me?
Probably tell them what the gift is first.
R-E-P-E-D-W-A. Sorry? R-E-P-E-D-W-A. Now? Like for example, I can give you an example. Sachin Tendulkar has a repertoire of cricketing shots.
R-E-P-V-A.
Sorry?
R-E-P-V-A or U-A.
Please give options to the computer. Alright, do you want to try?
Anyone wants to try? Okay, it is R-E-P-E-T-O-I-R. That is not repertoire, it is called repertoire. It is called repertoire. So now this is an academic vocabulary. So your pronunciation might be different and the spelling is totally different. So sometimes you might be tested on such words. Like for us, even they say a normal simple word, because it is coming from a foreign accent, it sounds complex to us. Really, they might say education, it might hurt, we might hear it as agitation. There are chances. Okay, we'll see. I will play the audios today. I'll see how many of you guys get actually the accent being spoken by some other nationality. It's very difficult for us. It's because our native languages, what we speak, they do influence the English we speak, right? So it becomes very difficult. So that is where your academic vocabulary comes into picture. Try to understand what the person has said. Oral sequencing of words. Now this is really very critical. I told you the boxing and the sequencing. Your box has to be in the same place, only then you are getting marks, guys. Your box, if I write the desk circulation, if my box was here then I'm not going to get any marks. Though I have written the word circulation, though it is there in the audio, but the position of the box is not where it was, you are not going to get the marks. So you have to maintain the sequence of your words as it is. Doesn't matter if you are not writing anything here, but you are writing the are at the ground floor. But if are at the ground floor are at the right position, like their sequence after each other properly, you will still get some marks. But if you are not writing the sequence properly, you are not going to get any marks, even if the words are there. Clear? Comprehending speed, accent and variations. Now this is something which leads to your commas, full stop and all of those. If there is a proper speed and they are giving significant pause, then you take it as a comma. And they are ending it, then you put it as a full stop. So that is where your speed, accent and variations in tone come into place. And the last one is most important, using correct spellings, because if you do a spelling error, you don't have any partial credit. You totally lose marks for the whole word. There is nothing, there is no consideration, okay, this person has just done one mistake in spelling, I'll give them some marks. No. If you do a mistake, you lose the mark for the whole word. So that's where your spelling comes into, that's why your spellings are important in right from dictation.
Whole word or whole sentence?
You lose the mark for the whole word.
Whole word.
Whole word, not the whole sentence.
So you said it checks the spaces and everything.
Yes.
If I'm missing N from the circulation,
Yes.
which means
But it is in a box, right? So it will just check in the first in the box.
it comes to the box and then.
So you will just not get marks for that box, but your still other boxes are, if they are fine, if they are in the right position, you still get the marks. Because that's what, they don't do direct character by character. First they box it and then they do segmenting. So your box has to be correct in that. Like for the words, they check it with the box and then the segment. What happened? Now let's have a look at some success attributes. Okay, done. Let's have a look at the success attributes for right from dictation. The first thing is contractions. Now, I told you that I've just done it for both repeat sentence and right from dictation so that you can have a bit more idea because they are quite similar types of questions. When it comes to contractions, can you please press exit? Sorry. So contractions are really very important because they are quite subtle in nature, guys. It's not very easy to hear. What are these contractions? I ain't going to office today. I ain't. Contractions have to be retained irrespective, be it repeat sentence or right from dictation. You can't use full forms. If it's saying I ain't going, you can't say I am not going to office today. You have to use I ain't going itself. We've had dinner early tonight. We've had dinner early tonight. We all write it as we had dinner early tonight. But the contraction is quite subtle. You might not hear it. It is we've had. So we apostrophe VE, which means we have had dinner early tonight. So contractions are really very important both in your repeat sentence and in your right from dictation. Because if you don't include the contraction, again you're losing the mark. Any addition, any omission or any manipulation, you're going to lose marks in your right from dictation as well as in your repeat sentence. You can't add a word, you can't omit a word, you can't manipulate a word. What do you mean by manipulate a word? If it is a singular, you have to maintain it as a singular. If it is a plural, you have to maintain it as a plural. If it is in the present tense, it has to be in the present tense. You can't write ed or in its past tense or anything. You have to maintain its original form as it is. So that is all manipulation. So contractions are important in both repeat sentence and right from dictation. Apostrophes. Now apostrophes is something really very important. Why are apostrophes mostly used? Apostrophes are used in two places. One as a part of your contractions, like one which we just did. I ain't going, we've had. It is used as a part of your contraction, as well as it is used as a part of personalization, to show something belongs to me. So if I say this is Akshay's pen, so I write A-K-S-H-A-Y apostrophe yes. If you don't write this apostrophe, you are not going to get any marks in your write from dictation. Now, apostrophes are all very important in your repeat sentence as well. Because if you don't say that syllable s, you are going to lose marks. Akshay's. So it is here, that's your syllable. I don't know, I know it sounds a bit weird, but yes, that's the syllable. Yeah? So apostrophes are important both in repeat sentence and in write from dictation. Now, if I had to say, this is James' pen, how am I going to write? This is James' pen. Is the name of the pen James? No, right? So how am I going to write it? J-A-M-E-S apostrophe S. If anything ends with an S, you're not supposed to write another apostrophe S. You have to just write an apostrophe after it. It implies that this is a personal belonging of that person. Clear? If there is something ending with yes and you want to show personalization, you don't have to write again apostrophe and yes. You just write the apostrophe. It is clearly implying that the next thing that has been mentioned after the word, it belongs to that person or that thing. You don't have to write, or else it will become James's. That sounds a bit weird, right? So it had to be James' phone or James' pen. So it has to be yes, apostrophe. Now be very careful with these apostrophes. Chronology. Now this is something most of us do small. So we consider it to be a small mistake. We might do it in a bit of a hurry, but it might cost us marks. For a repeat sentence, if there are numbers, if they are using some numbers, for when it comes to repeat sentence, you will be repeating it as it is. But if it comes for write from dictation, until and unless it's an year, if it is not a year, you are going to write it in words. For example, whom do I know here? Okay, I know Sachit. So I say, Sachit owes me $2 million. When are you giving? Okay, Sachit owes me $2 million. I'm not going to write 2 million and then put dollar symbol in front of it. You're not going to do that. Because this is not academic way of writing. You're being tested on your English, guys. So you need to write it in words. TWOMILLION and DOLLARS. You are going to write it in words. Until and unless that number is an year, everything you are going to write it in words.
So how are you going to write 14th of December?
Sorry?
14th of December.
If it is 14th of December, you can still, you have to, most of the time you don't get such ones where it cannot be, because as it is academic English, you don't get it. They don't ask you, they don't play a sentence which is having December 14 or something. But I said if it is a number or if it is a date.
No, what I mean to say is that after even, I'm sorry, I'm just getting out of the topic. For
Yep.
example, if it's an essay, if you're going to write 14th of December, even if it says in write from dictation, 14th.
Alright, I'll just quickly interrupt this space. If it is essay, let me put it very clearly. If it's essay, summarized written text, summarized spoken text, please use words. Make sense? But when it comes to write from dictation, you need to understand what they're speaking is informal English. Alright? So if it's dates, stick to numbers. If it's a small number, you can write it in words. Sense dates, open numbers in write from dictation. Alright?
But do you have anything saying that December 14th or something in the audios? I've never heard one of those coming.
No, I'm just
Like, no, that's the thing. Like, you don't get such ones where there is a bit of ambiguity. When there is something of ambiguity, you don't get such audios. They don't want to obviously confuse the person because they know that, because it is right from dictation, they're trying to mark you mainly on English academic language. So you don't have something there is ambiguity. So that's why I'm saying if it is years, try to write it down in numbers. If it is a something number which, except for a date, most of the time you have to write it in
For
words.
example, I heard one writing dictation saying like assignments are due on 14th of September. Like, how would you write that 14th?
So was it like, have you heard it in the exam?
Yes.
Alright, so let's
Real
say
exam.
if you've heard it like that, so I would put 14th, you can put it as a date, it's a date, right? 1/4
1/4 of TH of
September. But make sure when you're writing the name of the month, it should start with a capital letter.
capital letter.
Make sense?
Yes.
So dates, years, keep it in numbers, but anything else, try to write it in words. Let's keep it simple. Alright?
So dates you can write it in numbers, and the other things you need to write it in words. You can't write using special characters.
Another tip that I would give you here is remember one thing, you would never go wrong for writing something in words. They can't mark you down just
Yes.
because you've written it in words. The reason why we ask you to avoid big numbers is, for example, it says 2 million. You might keep wondering how many zeros are there. You know what I mean? So just be safe, write it in words. Clear?
Okay. Thank you. So write from dictation, yes, we've done singulars and plurals. Now you can't manipulate, that's what I was saying, you can't manipulate singulars or plurals, both in repeat sentence and write from dictation. If there is any manipulation, like if it is a singular and you're making it a plural, and if it is a plural and you're making it a singular, you're going to lose marks. So you're going to lose marks for that word. So you can't manipulate it both in repeat sentence and in write from dictation. Spellings. So it doesn't matter in repeat sentence, but when it comes to write from dictation, I've told you spellings are really very important. If you do any spelling mistake, you're going to lose the marks for that word. Punctuations. For repeat sentence, not really very important. You don't have to say the circulation desk is at the ground floor, full stop. You don't have to say that. Yeah, you just say the circulation desk is at the ground floor. Now, sometimes if they're giving a brief pause, it's not required because the computer cannot pick your brief pauses in repeat sentence as well. So it doesn't matter, but when it comes to write from dictation, punctuations are really very important. Commas, your full stops. If it is a question mark. If it's a question mark. I quote, comma, in quotes. So all of these punctuations are really very important because every punctuation also carries marks. Clear? The last one is capitalization. Capitalization, the first letter of your sentence should be, the first letter of the first word of your sentence should be in capital. If there is some other proper noun, any other proper noun, at that point of time, those also should start with a capital letter.
Just a quick question. Are you all aware what is a proper noun?
Everyone?
Names.
Names.
Names of people, places.
Like the one for name of the month, December. So that is also.
Another thing, be careful about capitalization is that whenever you've got a designation or like say an occupation attached to a name, Professor Smith. So professor would start with a capital P.
Yes.
So be careful. But suppose I'm talking about professors in general, then do I need to start with a capital letter?
No.
No. So just be a little careful with this. Yes.
Does it need to part
In terms of writing dictation, I said. Alright, now see the strategy, it really varies from person to person if you ask me. Every student is different. I would recommend, like, for most of us, for 80% of us, typing simultaneously would not be a good idea. But really, you know yourself better. I suggest you, whatever suits you fine. If you think you can remember, try to retain it and then do it. If you think taking notes helps me, do it. It really depends on you, what suits you best. We'll give you a couple of options. You go for the one that suits you best. But for most of us, it might not work because what happens is, neither are you taking down the notes properly and you're not even paying attention. You're distracted. So you're not doing both the jobs well. That's for most of us.
One of my experience probably would be helpful for I just was writing in the time of listening, and because before that I didn't read in that far, but nothing was typed. And when I get back to the screen and when I was typing, I realized that nothing was typed and I forgot all the sentence.
The best thing, that's what we recommend. So we are coming to it, don't worry, we are just starting it now. So there are two success strategies. The best way to do write from dictation is two-way. One is memory, but there's a clause if you have a really good one. Okay? So if you are not having a good memory, I would not suggest you to do that. Now the last time I asked a student, how good is your memory? He said, I've got 128 GB. So it's like, it's not your iPhone's memory or your phone, Android phone's memory, it's your own memory. Okay? So use your memory if you have got a really good one, but simultaneously, I would say that even if you do it, instead of typing it directly into the box, first write it down on the erasable notepad, and then you try. You have to write it down simultaneously by remembering things. That is also very good. Or else the next thing is initials, which is really recommended. Now as you're getting the longer ones, writing down the whole sentence might not be very feasible at times. Yes? So it is recommended we can use initials. But again we require memory because we need to remember those initials. So you can't leave your memory at home. At any point of time, you still need to take your memory. I would rather say include almonds in your diet. Yeah? I guess it sharpens up your memory.
We're having few right now.
Is
Having
it?
to right now, oh my god, that's excellent. You know the writing dictation.
So, but don't carry almonds to the PT center. Okay? The lady might check that as well. Okay, so we are going to use memory. Okay, how many of you claim, guys, that you've got really good memory?
Let's see.
Let's see. How many of you guys claim that you've got really good memory? I myself, I'll claim that I've got good memory. Anyone who wants to volunteer?
Yes, because he's cleared his PT, so he can claim anything.
Multiple times.
No one?
No one?
Okay.
Okay.
Let's play an audio.
Okay.
Alright, before we start the audio, just a few quick tips, guys. Do you remember he spoke something about contractions? So we know what contractions are, isn't it? Short forms. Just a quick tip, might not work in all cases, but suppose I've heard a sentence. Maybe the first word was a contraction, but I did not hear it properly. I'm guessing whether it was a contraction or a full form. I'm not sure whether I heard I am or I am. I need to take a guess, I'll go for the contraction. Why? What do you think? Because what you're hearing is spoken English, and spoken English is informal. We use contractions while we speak. So there is a 99% probability that you may have heard a contraction. So if you need to take a guess, go for a contraction. Until you're really sure that you heard a full form. Does that make sense? Alright? Just remember, do not make spelling mistakes, because spelling mistake is going to cost you dearly in writing dictation. You would lose mark for that particular word. Make sense? Alright.
Okay. So everyone knows how to take initials. It's just like the one we have, that ASAP, like as soon as possible. So in case the sentence was the same thing, the circulation desk is at the ground floor. So I just write it down like this. We recommend you write it in capitals because it's more legible. If you're writing it in small letters, you don't have to ask the person next to you, what did I just write? Yeah? So you need to write it in such a way that you understand what you're writing. Yep. So, but see that they are in capital letters and you can understand what. Guys, there's another one thing. This is out of the blue. Okay? What I'm telling you is that try to visualize the things. Like when you listen to the audio, understand it and also visualize it. If you can visualize it, it's much more, it has a lasting imprint on your mind rather than just blindly listening to it. The circulation desk is at the ground floor. Okay, a ground floor, a very nice circulation desk and a hot lady in it. Done.
Don't add the hot lady there, right? You get hot marks.
It doesn't matter. It's a win-win situation. Okay? So that is how a circulation desk is at the ground floor. I can remember it. So that's how, guys, try to visualize things. Clear? Okay, let's see. I'm going to play a few audios. I'm going to show you some scoring exercises, how you will be scored on different audios. Okay? Hafiz, I play directly from here.
So are you playing and asking?
Okay, so ask them like how long will we have.
Because you're asking me to put in pictures.
Oh, should I do like that? Yeah, that is much better. Okay, I do it like
Alright guys, just a quick question. I hope you're not getting exhausted. Are you? Hmm? Are we good to practice? I really want you to practice a lot before you leave. So that you're already a pro by the time you leave. Are we good with it? Yes. Can we go on for another 15 minutes? Yes. Put in here properly. Can we go for another 15 minutes?
Yes. Yes.
Alright. What I would recommend you to do while we play the audio, first try to write it down. Try to go for the initial, see how you go.
It changed the sound.
Don't judge yourself too
no,
quickly.
it's not able to, like, it's not detecting it.
So if you're doing about 2 or 3 sentences and you
It's
think
not-
that it's taking
no
you
signal.
some time, give yourself some time. You're not going to become a champ in 15 minutes, but we'll try to develop a skill for writing the initials.
Yes,
Does that
now
make
it
sense?
is.
Alright? Try to go for the
Yes,
initials,
just go.
definitely itself. If it doesn't in a day or two, then we go back to memory. Alright? It's always safer to have something in front of you. Alright? When you are taking down the notes while you're listening to the audio, do it the way you would do it in the exam. Think this is an exam scenario, I need to get it 100%. Does that make sense? Don't be careless. If you can do it well here, definitely you can get your score in the exam as well. Does that make sense? Will we give 100%? Yes. Alright.
Okay. I want you guys to keep a bit low, because don't speak or something, because we just got one thing and it's not very audible. So as the more silent you are, the more clearly you can hear it. So keep your pens and your erasable or your books ready. So I'm just going to start playing it. I'm going to play it, and then I'm just going to ask you what it is, and then we will discuss. I'll play all the 5 audios, and then we will come back and discuss them.
And
Okay?
remember, everybody needs to write down, because everybody needs to match
Match
with
and
the
see.
answer, right?
And I want you to write the whole sentence. I want you guys to write the whole sentence.
In
Not
case you
just-
miss, not an issue. As much as you remember, write it
Just
down.
write it down.
Test
Don't
yourself.
discuss it. Don't say it aloud as well, please. Just think this is your exam. Okay, I'm starting. 3, 2, 1, start.
The source of great controversy.
Oh, sorry. Just a minute. Play it again.
A celebrated theory is still the source of great controversy.
Okay, the next one.
A person's education level is closely related to their economic background.
Okay, the next one.
A very basic function of computing is counting and calculating.
Okay, the next one.
Americans have progressively defined the progress of plant growth and reproductive development in quantitative terms.
It's still in the range. 16 words. Done, guys?
And in that regard, as well as in other regards, it stands as an important contribution.
Done? Yes? The last one.
Certain scientific principles need to be learned verbally or by logical deduction.
These are 5 brain scoring exercises. Okay. Hopefully they are very easy, right? Yeah? Literally, guys, these are the easy ones which I played. In the practice time, we are going to have a bit more. I have another 10 audios. Some of these are real exam audios. Like the first one. A celebrated theory is still the source of great controversy. Now you can see I have done 2 different parts. Now these are most of the common mistakes students do. And that is what I have shown here. And this is the actual answer. How many of you got 10 out of 10? A celebrated theory is still the source of great controversy.
With spellings and everything?
Everything should be correct. Now you are your best judge. Yeah? Celebrate. Very good. A round of applause for them. Okay? I know you guys are tired. Now here. How many of you have done wrong right here? How many of you missed till the? Okay, look. That is our analysis. We know where students go wrong. How many of you went wrong with controversy spelling? No one?
Nobody.
Everyone is involved in one? Okay, Sachin, you got it wrong? Controversy?
Yeah.
I'm the only person I know in this room and he got it wrong. Okay. A celebrated theory is source of great controversy. So in guys, if you miss words, so in total he lost 2 words till the, And the spelling of controversy is wrong, so he lost 3 marks in total. The next one was a person's education level is closely related to their economic background. Now, how many of you have this answer? A person's education level is related closely to their economic background. Anyone written agitation? No one?
It's good.
Everyone has kept their cool then. You've written agitation. Look, I told you. There's someone that should be.
It all correct, but educational level.
No.
That's
It
alright,
is
you
a
lose 1 mark.
person's, you lose 1 mark. It was education level. It was not educational level. Now, persons, have you put the apostrophe?
No.
Yes.
How many of you have not put the apostrophe?
Give yourself a -1.
If not put the apostrophe, you lose a mark. It was education, you've put it as agitation, you lose the mark. Anyone did mistake here? Related closely and closely related.
Swap the words.
Anyone swap the words? No one? You? No? Okay, good. To their economic background. So as they swap the word and there was a manipulation and totally a new word, so they lose 4 marks here most of the time.
What if you just, if I don't write related?
Then your sequence.
You still lose. You didn't write related and you wrote just closely.
Yeah.
You lose marks for related because you omitted a word.
But
But if there is
more
no
than
space?
the present marks, right? That would be 8. Am I no?
If you had not written related,
Yeah, so right now I'm, in your case, I'm losing 4 marks. If I omit related and closely, it will be in the case, right?
so what is your answer? Just tell me your answer. I can give
So
you.
a person's education level is closely to their education, to their economic background.
Yeah, you lose marks for, you omit the word related,
Yeah.
you still get the marks for closely. So you get 8 out of 9.
Sorry, my sentence means all the sentence except their,
You just wrote to economic background.
Yes.
So just one, so you'll get 10 out of 11.
Okay. If I really, if I just based on the grammar wants to correct, we have to, for example, something.
Because everything is academically correct. When a sentence, a prompt is played, it has to be academically correct. So they will not play a sentence which is academically wrong.
Yeah, when I if I put something, for example, some
Article or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this gives me.
You still lose marks. It will be considered as an addition.
Alright, I'll put it, maybe I understand the question that you say. See, whatever person gives you, any question whatsoever, they will never give you anything which is grammatically incorrect, alright? Suppose I've heard a sentence, alright? I'm not sure whether I've heard an article or not. But if I know the rules for articles, I know when to place a and the. If I know it very well, and I think there should be one, and if I place it, that's fine. But you need to know the rules thoroughly. Alright? If there needs to be an article and, you don't place one, that is wrong. They wouldn't give you something like that. They wouldn't tell you an incorrect grammatically, grammatically incorrect sentence. They wouldn't do that.
They will never do
It
it in
has to be
first.
there, it will be there. If you need to take a guess, you can. But don't do it with other words, because then you cannot really take a guess. With articles, yes. Make sense? But sorry, another thing. See, we have a time constraint in the listening section. Although I'm telling you that this is applicable, I'm not sure how much you can really sit and think on it, and whether it's going to be worth it. Suppose you've got 2 more questions left. I wouldn't recommend you to go too much into grammar if you've got time constraint. If you've got a lot of time left, 5-6 minutes, that's fine. Otherwise, don't waste your time. Go next, because to save that 1 mark for that 1 word, you might lose maybe 20. So you have to be wise.
Never doubt their prompts. Their prompts are always academically correct. Never doubt their prompts. They are all academic prompts, so they will not give you something incorrect. The third one, this was quite a big, so still, I told you, it is still in the range, it is just 15 words. Americans have progressively defined the process of plant growth and reproductive development in quantitative terms. Now, how many of you got mistakes here? Americans have developed the plant growth and development in quantitative terms. How many of your answers are something similar? No one? No one reached here as well?
Just
Now the reason, because if you are taking down this as initials, there is confusion between three P's that come almost in consecutive manner. Same, right? Yeah, I know that. So you need to be very careful when, that's the reason they know the PTE, that okay, people are using initials, I'm going to give them words with same initials. Now you need to use your memory. Which P stands for progressively, which P stands for plant growth. So if you're putting, instead of progressively, if you're putting plant here or process here, you are going to lose marks, guys. You can't change the sequence of the words. That's what I've been telling you guys. You can't change the sequence. Always retain the sequence of the words. Sequence should be your priority. Always maintain the sequence of the words right. If you're doing mistake in the sequence, you're going to lose marks very significantly. Okay?
Just another thing, guys. Quick tip. Although he's told you two strategies about memory and writing down the initials, if it's something extremely lengthy like this, see if it helps you. I can give you a modification, maybe a hybrid of the two strategies that he's told you. So what you can do is, if it suits you, maybe write down the initials for the first half of the sentence and try to remember the later half. Now that's how we do it, write the initial for the first half and remember the second half. You cannot do it vice versa, reason being, you wouldn't probably remember what you heard in the first part. Alright, that would be for most of us. Alright, if this helps you, a half and half strategy, you can go for that one as well. Alright.
The next one. It was, and in that regard, as well as in other regards, it stands as an important contribution. Now, how many of you, anyone skipped and? How many of you did not put the comma after regard? How many of you wrote regards as regard? The second regards as regard. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Did you know, how many of you missed the commas after the regards? It stands as an important contribution. How many of you got it perfectly right with all the commas and everything with a full stop as well? Everything perfectly right. Not even a small change.
I wrote it stands for an important.
You wrote 4, so that's an addition, you're going to lose marks.
I missed it as
It stands an important contribution, that's what you said. You still lose a mark. Anyone who got perfectly fine, because this is a real exam question. No one? Still, if you've done one manipulation, it's fine, you're getting 15 out of 16. But guys, other people you guys have to worry about, you need to focus on how to put the commas when they're giving that brief pause. I've told you in right from dictation, commas are really very important. Commas, full stop and punctuation. You lose mark for each character as well.
Yes.
No, it doesn't help you.
Because of sequence.
Sequence. You don't get marks for the sequence. I told you the box has to be in the same place.
If I would want a space or a space, I would use all of the
Not literally. It will first search for the box. If the box is there, and it will check for the adjacent box as well. They have a lot of algorithms that run. It's not that it's a very simple process that okay, they'll just check for the box. But it is mainly checks for the second word which is adjacent to it, just to find if it is in the sequence. It's a progressive. It's like your arithmetic progression. A plus P plus 2P plus 3P plus 4P. It works like that. One after the other. So those iterations. Now I know most of you guys. How many? Oh, I think I skipped one.
Yeah. A very basic function.
I skipped third.
A very basic function.
Oh.
Very basic.
Okay. I had written it down. Okay, a very basic function of, okay, how many of you got it right? a very basic function of computing is counting and calculating. Now there are 3 C's there. There are 3 C's there, right? Computing, counting and calculating. If you have misplaced these 3's, if you have done jumble up, it should be in the order of computing, comma, counting and calculating. So it is computing, counting and calculating. If you are doing this jumble of computing, counting and calculating, you are going to lose marks. How many of you jumbled up? Only one? No one else jumbled up? 2? Good. Okay, the last one. Now how many of you guys wrote biological deduction? How many of you wrote biological deduction? Now I told you guys this is where your academic vocabulary as well as the speed, intonation and stresses, all those 3 things come into play, because that was not biological, it was biological deduction. It was biological deduction, not biological deduction. How many of you written learned as learned? Well, that's another common mistake. Because I was a student, I can think as a student. Yeah? So that's where most of us go wrong. Learned verbally or biological deduction. So it was biological. So guys, as I told, these were the easy ones. Now we are going to do 10 rapid audios, one after the other, and finish it off. And then we will just discuss the answers. These are going to be quite challenging. So be very careful. Okay?
You write anything on your computer?
Okay guys, ready? Ready? Okay, start. Oh, sorry, just a minute. Start.
I'd like to get a place of my own as soon as I can.